Hi, my name is Maria Dela Cruz. I wanted to make this YouTube channel based on my experiences in life. Maybe post up some hobbies. I don't know, a lot of things. Um, but I feel like I'm 22 years old, and I feel like I've been through a lot in my life. Um, I've experienced bad things, and I'm not saying it for attention. I'm saying it because it's real. Everything that's happened in my life. I feel like there are things that need to be said, and I don't want to keep it bottled up forever. I want people to know the things that I've been through, and I'm tired of keeping it bottled up. And I hope it doesn't just help me, it helps people that watch this. I want to help people. I want to be able to help people by saying my stories too. We came here to the United States illegally. My dad was the first one to arrive. Then me and my mom came after him like a year after. I was barely 2 years old when I came. We came here for better jobs, better life. In Mexico, you're very poor. You don't earn much. It's just not that great over there. That's why people come here, for just a better life and a better future for your kids. When the abuse, I wanted to talk about my dad mostly and how abusive he was towards my mom and I. And I just wanted to get everything off my chest. And I hope this video helps everybody that have been through an abuse. I remember my mom. I think coming here not knowing anybody was part of why the abuse happened. Was because my dad, he knew my mom didn't know anybody, had nowhere else to go. My mom had nowhere else to go, and my dad took advantage of that. He told my mom things. It was not just the verbal abuse, but it was physical abuse. My mom got kicked. My mom got, I think I've even seen my dad punch her. I remember I would get hit as a little kid. I was barely in school. I was barely 3-4 years old when I was already experiencing all the abuse that my dad was doing to my mom, and then he started hitting me, and it's just awful. I experience all those things when you're little. As a little kid, it sticks to you. It sticks to your head. It sticks in your memory all that's forever. You'll forever remember all those things that your dad, the person that has abused you. It's just awful. I was just a little kid. Even as a little kid, I always wondered, like, why do I have to go through these things? Does God not love me? I remember we went to the hospital one time, and my mom took me. She didn't tell anybody. She just took me, and we went. And I remember she would wear a lot of long sleeves and pants all the time. And until that day, I've never really seen what she looked like underneath all that. And when she finally took everything off in the hospital, you know how they make you wear those like weird paper dresses. And she put out that thing on, and that's when I finally saw all the bruises. Not only bruises, but I remember they were like purplish, yellowish, greenish looking. And I could have sworn I felt like it almost looked like if she had someone pushed her down the stairs and she got all of them at once. They just look really bad. I remember I think I even saw some scratches on there too. But I was just a little kid. And I remember we ran away. We went to like a home where people that have been in an abusive home or trying to get out of a bad situation go to. There was a lot of kids there. I remember that. I remember they put me and my mom in this small little room, and I remember I would sneak out sometimes to go play with the kids, but my mom didn't want me to because then I guess she was just afraid to lose me. but we were in this huge house. It looked like a huge house, and there was a backyard where all the kids would play. And I remember I felt happy for a really long time until we had to go back. My dad came back to look for us. I don't know how he found us, but I guess somehow we went back. I don't know why. I don't know how. I was a kid. I don't really remember. I just know we went back to him. And you would think that when you go back to someone after they just lost you, that things would get better. They don't. They don't get better. I remember I think we ran away from my dad more than once. We ran away from him like 3 times. And we lived in Dallas, Texas. And that's where we first came. Well, that's where we first arrived when we came here to the United States. We were in Dallas, Texas. And I remember when my brother was born, my dad would just get more abusive. He would hit more. He would hurt my mom more. I remember my dad would literally break hangers on my back, like the plastic hangers where you hang your clothes. He would break that on my back. He would hit me with the shoe in my face. He would grab even wires like from where you plug the TV, anything that he would find that would hurt or leave a mark. That's the kind of stuff that satisfied my dad. That would hurting us is what made him stronger. I remember one time I prayed, and I didn't think anyone was hearing me because we were sleeping in the same room. Me, my dad, and I. We were sleeping in the same room. I think my little brother was there too at that time when I was praying. And I remember telling Jesus, like, "Can you please don't let my dad hit my mom again?" I guess my mom overheard, and she told my dad the next day. I thought it was embarrassing at the time, but when I heard my mom telling my dad, I think she just wanted to get that through my dad, that I was aware of what was going on between him and her. But my dad just didn't care. I guess he didn't think anything of it. He probably thought my mom was joking about it. But I was just a little kid. Who's gonna believe a little kid, you know? Who cares what a little kid says? And my dad came here to Florida first. We live in Florida right now, and we came after my dad. My dad came here to Florida because of work. I think he worked in construction, and so he came here first before we did. And we followed him. Obviously, he found a home. We lived with other people, and that was better when we lived with other people because he wasn't as abusive. He hid that from people. He didn't tell people that. Obviously, who's gonna tell, like, hey, I hit my wife? No. But I remember we lived with other people, and things were calmer. Things weren't bad. And like, maybe he was verbally abusive, but he wasn't physically abusive in front of anybody, in front of other people. But then once he started getting paid better, that's when he moved us out of that house, and we moved, like, I think like a few houses down. It was a duplex actually, and that's when the abuse started again. Anything we didn't matter what it was, he would hit us. I remember running all the time, trying to hide anywhere I could so he wouldn't touch me. I just didn't want to get hit. Obviously, who wants to get hit? And I remember hearing my mom cry a lot. And I remember when people started noticing that he was abusive, people were like telling my mom to move, get out, go somewhere else, go somewhere safer. But it's easier for people to tell us to leave, but they don't want to help. They don't want to take in a lady with her 2 kids. And it got even worse when my mom got pregnant with her 3rd child, which is my youngest brother right now. And no one wants to help a lady with her 3 kids. They don't want to take them in. And then when we started moving here in Florida, that's when we started running off to Texas, back and forth. Well, because my dad used to hit us a lot. I remember one time my dad grabbed my little brother. He's 19 right now, and he grabbed him from the head, and his hair dangling off. He was dangling off the ground, and he grabbed him and threw him in the room. I don't know what exactly he did, but I just remember my dad doing that to him. I remember trying to defend my brothers sometimes, but obviously I'm a little kid. What am I supposed to do? If I tried to defend him, I would get hit worse. It was we would get hit for anything. It was either because we accidentally dropped some water, we bumped into him, we were curious to know what he was doing with beer. It was anything. It was just simple things that we were curious about, or something that we did, and because we were clumsy, I don't know. We got hit for the smallest things. Right now my dad, he's in Mexico with my youngest brother. 2 years ago they left to Mexico, all of them. My mom, my dad, my 2 brothers, and they even took my dog. But they left, and when they left, things were better. He was not abusive anymore. He actually had some humor in him. He could laugh about things. He could laugh about himself. He could laugh at us if we did something wrong. He was just a better person. But once they left, I think because of the laws over there, they're different than here. There really are no laws over there. I think he just took that as an advantage and decided that he could do whatever he wanted again, and he didn't have to follow by anyone else's rules. And I don't know exactly what my mom did to deserve it, but he grabbed a gun and he was telling my mom that he was gonna kill her because I don't know why. But all I know is that he had a gun in his hand. I don't really know the complete story about it, but all I know is that he was drunk and he had a gun in his hand, and he was mad at my mom, and he was waving it in her face. Luckily he didn't shoot anybody, but I think that was the breaking point for my mom, because she saw that she was gonna die if she stayed with him. Even after someone gets better, once they find the opportunity that they can take advantage of you again, they're gonna do it. So my mom came here 7 months ago, and she crossed the border again, almost died trying. She almost drowned. She told me the whole story, but that's gonna be a different video. And yeah, I'm so glad she's here. My brother was the first one to arrive. My brother, the oldest one, not the one after me, he's the one that's 19 years old. He's the one that came here first because he can obviously cross the border without a problem because he was born here. But my mom was the hardest one. So right now both my mom and my brother are here, but my youngest brother and my dad are there. And I sometimes fear for his safety because I know my dad isn't as responsible. He likes to drink a lot, and I feel like he wouldn't take care of my brother. Take care of my brother as well as I think he would. I still talk to my dad, but obviously I have some feelings toward him. He knows that. Everybody knows that. He's my dad. I still love him. I know that's really bad to say, but he's my dad, and I wish things were different. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on how everything is going right now. I'll tell you guys more about how crossing the border and why people come here. I'll tell you how I'm living my life, but that'll be in a different video. And hopefully I can inform people on how it is to live a life like mine. I'll tell you guys more stories. Thanks for listening, and hope someone out there cares, or hope has better this video has helped you, I hope. I'm sorry I'm not very good at speaking even though I don't see anybody on the other side, but I get stage fright, camera shy. So yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.